Buongiorno, buonasera, benvenuti amici, welcome my friends. My name is Vincenzo and welcome to my channel, and that channel is Fountain Pen Therapy. Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. You like the tuxedo and the tie? Obviously, this is that time of the year, ladies and gentlemen, where Fountain Pen Therapy looks back at the year 2025 and grants its annual awards. For all of these award reviews, we'll list a bunch of nominees, choose the top 3, and of course declare the ultimate Fountain Pen Therapy winner. Now, without any further ado, here are my nominees, top 3, and the ultimate winner of the 2025 Fountain Pen of the Year. I'm back. And yes, let's get going. But before we do, I just want to set out some of the rules here so you have some notion as to how we went about this, okay? For each of the categories, we will assemble all of the object or the subject pens, if you will, and then we create a sort of an Excel sheet where we look at different parameters, list all the candidates, arrive at the top 12 nominees, then the top 3, and we declare the ultimate winner. For each of the awards, the parameters may vary depending on what the award is. And please keep in mind, this is all in good fun. These are my choices, and my choices are obviously based on my own experiences and my own acquisitions. And as much as I would love to acquire all of the pens that are out there to ultimately declare the ultimate winners, of course, I'm limited to the pens that I've acquired. So don't get upset if your pen doesn't make the list. It may not have been on my list because I may not have had the opportunity or the honor or the privilege for it to be on my list. But it's all in good fun, and I think it's an exercise that I invite you all to do. Sit back, take a look at your collection, and maybe declare some winners. And please, I would love the opportunity for you to share your own winners in the comments. And who knows, perhaps there's a gem out there that I've forgotten and that will make it on the 2026 year list because I will have acquired it next year. So without any further ado, let's look at the nominees I've chosen for this category and proceed with the review. Okay, so we're back. Now, for the top fountain pen of the year 2025, if I want to be consistent with my previous awards, I have to consider the top Chinese pens, I have to consider the top Italian pens, and then I've got a series of other pens that I purchased that are neither from China nor from Italy that had to be looked at. And trust me, there was quite a few. So what I propose is that I show you, what my Chinese fountain pens of the year are. You've seen that video by now, hopefully, and you hopefully have seen what my top Italian pens are as well. So what I propose to show you is what are my top pens purchased that are neither Italian nor Chinese. And then from all of that, we will show you my last 12 nominees, if you will. Okay, so let's start with the non-Italian and non-Chinese pens that are in the mix, so to speak. So we're back. So here are the pens that are not Chinese, nor are they Italian, that I think needs to be put into the mix so that I can come up with my top 12 and then wind down to my winner, okay, which is the pen of the year. And here's just, I think, the top sampling. There's many more, but and I couldn't put them all here, but I think these are amongst my favorite, okay? So we have my Platinum 3776, just a beautiful pen. Don't know why I don't use it more often. Then I've got two Cypress pens. I think Cypress pens, they have their own in-house steel or gold nibs, are amongst the lowest priced luxury pens on the market that can give you gold nibs. I really do. And I'm just sampling here. I have the Cypress Ravishing, it's a long name, Ravishing CE10 or DC10. Then I have the Cypress G10 Shuttle. I've got my two vintage Schaefer Legacy 2s that I purchased. I've got my Carène, Waterman Carène, my Waterman Edson. This is a Gravitas Monster, a Conway Stewart Classic Vintage Pen, my Canwright Mammoth number 9, a recently acquired premium resin Ranga, a Lotus, a Vizier. I have two Vizier pens here that I purchased or acquired. Actually, were sent to me by Vizier during year 2025. So those are the samplings. Now, I've already made my choices for the number 12. So without any further ado, I will reassemble the top 12 and get to those writing samples immediately thereafter. Okay, we're all set, folks. Let's start with number 12. Number 12 on my list is my Delta Reservoir. Beautiful, beautiful pen. For those of you who have not seen my top Italian pen awards, you'll see why. But let's go through it in this particular review. So number 12 is my Delta Reservoir. The nib is a Delta branded, and I gotta say, tuned Yowo. I believe this is a broad nib. I gotta tell you, I've not written with a Yowo broad nib that is so perfect. They've obviously done something right here in terms of the tuning. Just very nice. And the special thing about this pen, of course, is the reservoir system that's in. It's got this beautiful reservoir, which is, you can uncap it. It's got actually a cap, so you can carry 2 or 3 of these around with ink in them. And now they've made them out of acrylic or out of plastic, from what I understand. I like the weight of the metal one, frankly. There you have it. It's very nice. The pen has got gorgeous resin, and it's got that silver trimming right here. The Dolce Vita look, as you will, which is my favorite. The Delta finial there. Just a gorgeous pen. So that's my number 12. And probably, I've got to tell you, my a very sentimental choice, if you will, but it made my number 12. My number 11 is, in fact, one of my top Chinese pens, which is this Asvine. So number 11 is this Asvine C2000 in the ebonite finish. And it's important, this ebonite finish, because I think it makes quite a bit of an impression on us. It's got an Asvine number 8 steel, and in this case a 1.1 stub, which is springy, wet, constant, amongst the best nibs that I have in my collection. Second to none, I got to tell you, and it's steel. The pen is about $120. Probably the amongst the lowest priced pens in this top 12. There are some lesser expensive, but amongst. Beautiful, beautiful pen. It's got that beautiful ebonite finish, finished with a kind of a Urushi look. Original, big sized pen, worthy of mention. So that's my number 11. Now, number 10. Yeah, folks. Let me tell you why this pen is not in my top 3, where when I purchased it, I could have sworn it would be. This is the Conway Stewart Churchill. It's a used, I guess, vintage, made in England. Take a look at this, folks. I mean, just an absolute beauty in terms of design, the clip, the finial, the trimmings, the way it's shaped. It's just a beautiful, beautiful pen. It just, 18 karat gold nib, sits in your hand perfectly. Why is it only number 10? First of all, let's just write with it. Springy 18 karat nib. So this is the Conway Stewart Churchill. It's got a Conway Stewart number 6, 18 karat. And this, I believe, is the medium nib. When this pen writes, it is among my most cherished writing experiences. Just to feel the whole pen in your hand. The major issue with this pen, unfortunately, and I haven't been able to figure out why, is that it dries up on me. Is it just because it's a vintage version and it has its quirks? Look how wet this is, but that's because I needed to prime the feed. Otherwise, it dries up on me just a little bit too quickly. And that's probably the only unfortunate reason why it finds itself on number 10. It's a Grail pen. It's a classic pen that everybody should have in their collection. But unfortunately, if the writing experience and that nib just dries up on you, it takes away all of the glory. I've got to figure out a solution. I don't know what it is. I've got to sit down, take the time to correct that, because if I do, this pen automatically jumps to the top. Where in the top, I'm not sure, but it jumps to the top. So there you have it. That's my number 10 choice. Okay, where are we? Number 9. Number 9, sentimental. My Delta Napoli, gifted to this channel by just a wonderful viewer. Couldn't buy it from Goulet Pens because it doesn't deliver to my city, and she decided to gift it. So very sentimental, and along with the fact that, so where are we? Number 9, is it? Yeah. Along with the fact that it's Delta, and as you all know, so it's the Delta Napoli. It's from Delta. It's from the city from the region I was born in. It's got a Delta branded Yowo Fine Flex. Just writes absolutely beautifully. Kudos to the person who did all the fine-tuning of this pen. Number 10, sentimental, grazie molto alla signora, to the woman who was so generous. Next on my list, number 8 is this Waterman classic, the Karen. Initially, when I bought this pen, I was disappointed, and I'll explain to you why later. I don't want to give out any other choices here, but this number 8 is a classic. I think it belongs in everyone's collection. It's the Waterman Karen. This has a Waterman inlaid fine nib. And I'm actively looking for a medium and a broad, because I think the Karen is in different colors. This is in the black version, which is probably the cheapest version you can purchase, both used and new, because I wanted to, try that nib. But it is very, very nice. A beautiful addition to my collection. It should be part of anybody's collection, the classic Waterman Karen. There you have it, number 8. Now, number 7 is this Gravitas Monster. The Monster, ladies and gentlemen. Great design. It's just a work of art, work of engineering. We should all have one of these pens in our collection. This is a number 7, so it is the Gravitas Monster. It's got an absolutely luscious and gusher of a number 8 Gravitas nib. Now, is it a Bach nib? Whatever it is, it's. I'm sure the Gravitas had to extend its tuning to this, or its own kind of twist to it. The only downside of this pen, and it does come in different materials, so I think they've, you can always choose the right one, is that this aluminum finish is just a little bit, and despite the fact that they've kind of made this a little bit knurled here, or there's some texture to it, a little bit too slippery for my hands anyway. Otherwise, let me tell you, at the price, with that filling system, it's very special. I think it's another, Grail-like pen in my view. So number 7, the Gravitas Monster in that aluminum finish. Number 6 is the top pen, Chinese pen of the year, which is number 6. It's the Junlai 930, and it's the Pope pen. It's got that gorgeous number 9 steel Yunlai or Wing Sung. And this, in case it's a broad. This pen has brought me so much therapy that it deserves all the accolades that I have bestowed on it, and which explains, and you can see my video, why I think this is my number 1 Chinese pen of 2025. Beautiful pen. Dedication to Pope Jorge Mario Bergoglio, born in 1935, passed away in 2025. Just a beautiful, beautiful pen. There you have it. That's my number 6. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. Okay, so let's go to number 5. Here we go. Number 5 is this Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0 ebonite finish with that special nib. Let me elaborate. for those of you who have not seen my Italian Pen Awards, number 5 is the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0 Ebonite. And this is the reason why it has a Leonardo number 8 steel nib. And in this case, it's a fine, which is, in my view, revolutionary. It allows you to have the writing experience of a number 8 nib at a price which is reasonable. You can get the Leonardo Momento Zero 2.0 with a number 6 Yowo nib. Pen is exciting, but the nib is boring. It's a déjà vu. It's got a Leonardo stamp on it, and it's maybe tuned, but that's it. You can get yourself a Leonardo, oh, I missed an O here. You can get yourself a Leonardo 14 karat La Fenice nib, number 6, but you'll pay substantially more. Or you can pay even more, around $1,000 Canadian, and get yourself a Leonardo number 8 La Fenice gold nib. So where is it in between the boring Yowo and the exciting number 8 gold La Fenice nib? This thing fits in just perfectly. Gives you the writing experience of a number 8 nib at the price in between and substantially lower than the number 8 gold. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't even come close to rivaling with that number 8 La Fenice nib, but it gives you a writing experience which is unique. So congratulations to Leonardo for having introduced this number 8 steel nib, which is not the boring number 6 Yowo. Next on my list, number 4, there you have it, folks, a classic. This is the Schaefer, let me just post it, what a pen. Number 4. This is the Schaefer Legacy. I think it's the 2. With this Schaefer inlaid. What a beautiful nib. I think this is the fine, and it's 18 karat. Amongst my best writers. Now I know there's the new one that's come out. Schaefer's been bought out by an Indian company, I believe, and they've come out with the Schaefer Legacy with the steel nib, and I think eventually they'll come out with a gold nib. This is you can get these pens, folks, and jump on them. They are amongst the best fountain pens on the market. So there you have it, my Schaefer Legacy. I'm getting it whenever I can. I have already another one not too far away. In fact, I think it's right here because I had to choose one of the two for this is another one I purchased. There's some that are a little more elaborate. Whenever I can get my hands on one, I will. So there you have it, the two versions that I have of the Schaefer Legacy. What is number 3? Okay, so let's get down to my top 3. So we'll go down here. Number 3 is the Scribbling Flow, which is their most recent offering. Just a beautiful pen. Again, I forget how many facets it's got, but it's got more than 12. I forget 20. I forget how many. But you can see the facets on this ebonite finish. It's a classic pen with perfect balance. And it has one of my favorite nibs, which is the Scribbling Feel the Flex fine nib. probably the springiest, bounciest nib that can serve as an everyday writer in my collection, because it's neither a flex nib in the classic sense, if you will, or in the vintage sense. It does have a lot of bounce and a lot of softness to it, but it can be used on an everyday basis, which is what makes this pen really exciting. So congratulations, Scribo. The Scribo Flow Piston Filler, beautiful. Oh, did I mention it's a 14 karat nib? There you go. Beautiful. Scribo Flow. Number two. It is my number one Italian pen for this year, which is this. So number two, getting closer, folks, is this Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0 Sottobosco. I think it's the most attractive Momento Zero Grande in their collection. And it has the Leonardo. I mean, I can hardly hear this nib. La Fenice. We can say in-house, I think. Number 8. 14 karat. And this one is a fine. Probably, I mean, it's a fine. Probably the smoothest nib I have in my collection. Probably. It rivals with some of the broad nibs, which by definition write a little smoother, but it's a fine. Is it a fine? Sorry, it's a medium. Still, it writes as smooth as a broad nib. Wow, what an experience. And probably the pen that I will always ink with black ink. It's not coming out, I think, on the camera. I don't know if it is or isn't. The lighting is not the greatest, but I can't see any other ink in this pen besides black. Look at this resin. Perfect shape. Momento Zero Grande, I got to hand it to them. It's probably the perfect size fountain pen. So that's my number 2. Okay, drum roll for number 1. So, Fountain Pen Therapies Pen of the Year for 2025 is the Waterman Edson. What a writing instrument, folks. Yes, it's a vintage. They don't make them anymore. And yes, Hemingway Jones has contributed to inflating the price of this pen, because now it's going for anywhere between 1,000, 1,400 Canadian. But man, oh man, what a pen. It is the pen of the year for me. So number 1 is the Waterman Edson. It's the blue resin version. The nib is a Waterman Edson inlaid nib. And I got a stub, folks. I understand the stubs are not easy to find. And it is 18 karat jewel. And this pen writes and writes and writes. It doesn't leak. It doesn't skip. It is smooth. It is perfect. It's got this gorgeous, let me just open it up, cartridge converter, which has got blue color to it. It's got a sapphire look to it. It's 18 karat. Take a look at this monster of a nib. Let me just look at that. Just, I mean, revolutionary. It is the fountain pen therapy 2025 pen of the year. A glorious addition to my Grail pen collection. There you have it, folks. My number one. Beautiful pen. Waterman Edson. That's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. I love to do these awards just because it gets me to think about everything that I have and everything that I want to have for the following year. Look, this is meant to have some fun and most importantly grant you, and perhaps more importantly grant me, some fountain pen therapy at the end of this year. 2025 has seen this channel grow, and I thank you all for your enormous support and enthusiasm. I've tried to share my passion and that to enthusiasm to you in every review that I do on this channel, and I hope I've achieved, at least in part, to make your days happier, make you reflect, and grant you some fountain pen therapy. And what I can promise for 2026 is that more therapy will be granted and will be had for all. So thank you very much once again. Enjoy your families, enjoy your pens, and ciao.